This handsome guy found a key on the ground. He used this key to open a mysterious door. Then he walked straight in. The screen flashed. Surprisingly, it was a week later. But the terrifying thing is, he had no memory of that week whatsoever. That night Dylan returned home after school. He saw a crowd gathered at the entrance of the village, chattering away. Curious, he went closer and realized someone had jumped off a building. At that moment a key fell from the injured person's body. Dylan picked it up. The key had a unique pattern on it, and Dylan immediately recognized that it was exactly the same as the pattern on a door in his own home. He remembered when he was a child. Whenever he approached that door, his grandmother would get very angry and say, but now his grandmother had gone to sell salted duck eggs. Without hesitation he inserted the key into the door. When Dylan opened his eyes again, he found himself sitting in a classroom, with injuries on his face. He asked his friend if they had hit him, and his friend replied, "Are you crazy? You got into trouble a few days ago and got beaten up by a senior." That's when Dylan realized that a whole week had passed, and he had no memory of that week. It turns out that the door had the power to fast-forward time. With a joyful expression Dylan walked through the door again. When he opened his eyes once more, the injuries on his face had miraculously healed. What excited him even more was that the school beauty Kara, whom he had always had a crush on, said she wanted to be his girlfriend. Dylan was overjoyed, and was about to do something in public, but Kara blushed and said it couldn't happen. She wanted to spend more time with Dylan first. Dylan thought, then let me fast forward, and happily bounced into the door. However, this time he didn't appear in Kara's bedroom, but in a hospital room. When the senior on the hospital bed saw Dylan, he was terrified as if he had seen a ghost. Dylan looked puzzled. At that moment his friend said, "Senior, it was you who got beaten up like this." By Dylan's incredible martial arts skills, even the street thugs were scared and backed off when they saw him. Kara excitedly said, "Dylan, you're amazing. Let's go home." But Dylan, with doubts in his heart, rejected her. He felt extremely scared, because he had no idea what he had done during that fast-forwarded time. Just then the previous street thugs accompanied by their leader caught up with them. After a brief exchange the leader searched Dylan and found several tens of dollars on him. He asked Dylan where he was from, daring to steal the thugs' breakfast money. Dylan quickly exclaimed, "You've got the wrong person." At that moment one of the underlings showed the photo taken when Dylan was stealing the money. As soon as Dylan saw the photo he was dumbfounded. The person in the photo robbing the money was actually his brother. Just then Kara happened to pass by, and saw Dylan lying on the ground. Dylan immediately asked Kara to show them their group photo. To his shock he saw himself in the group photo transformed into his brother's appearance.